Is that any better? Thanks, Sean. Jane, can you hear anything? How's that? As for recovered, not quite sure. Legs are feeling a bit wobbly, but I think they'll ride themselves into it. Brilliant. Appreciate that, Sean. So I was just saying to myself, but I'll recap. Thanks, Mark. Earlier when I was talking about doing this dirt chase race, I thought it'd be about a minute or so between each group. And there is only a minute between the Cat A's and B's. But between the Cat A's and the Cat D's, there's a 9-minute gap. And so we've got about 29-30 kilometres to haul that back. So it's going to be really difficult. And that does mean I don't start until about 9 minutes, windows opening, 9 minutes past 12. And that's why I started the live stream quite late. Thank you, Paul. And thank you, Scott. Appreciate the confirmation on the sounds. Appreciate everybody joining. So I've had a breakfast. I did the first race fasted on just the amino acids and caffeine and water. And you got more than enough glycogen in the body to see you through a 20-minute crit. Nice one, Scott. You're going to hopefully stay away. That'd be cool. I doubt that. I'm hoping to hang in the A group and also do a few of my own pulls on the front. I think this is going to be really difficult. I'm quite excited. So I did the first race fasted and I felt pretty good. I've had a breakfast since then, protein shake and toast and potato rosties, that kind of thing. It's not ideal to only have sort of an hour and a quarter or so, hour and a half to digest it before undertaking intense exercise, because the body uses a lot of blood to digest, and obviously you want that blood to create aerobic energy. And my legs felt awful when I first started warming up, but now actually they feel okay. And because this is a flat course, I'm hoping to keep the cadence relatively high, around about 90 to 100 RPM. So the D races have got about 2 minutes before they set off, and I'll transfer to the pen shortly. Hey Johan, well, we will see if I'm smashing training at the end of this little interlude, but I was definitely beyond happy with the first race. It's a really substantial personal best. Yes, Anthony, it could be either a glorious failure as I get dropped early on, or hopefully I'm going to play a little role in dragging back the B's, C's and D's. Hopefully. I reckon that if I was a pro racer in some kind of parallel universe, I don't have the winning mentality really, but I do have a good serving mentality, and I like to ride hard. So maybe if I was really good, I could have been a domestique in a parallel universe. And that's what kind of appeals here. There is an element of team working going on, which is unusual for Zwift. So basically, the Cat D set off at 9 minutes past 12. Then the Cat B set off about 3 minutes after that. Sorry, let me find out exactly what happens. sorry, to recap, the Cat D set off at 12 o'clock, the Cat C's set off at 12:05, so that's a big old gap. Then come the Cat B's at 12:08, and then the Cat A set off at 12:09. So that's a very challenging gap to pull back, and it will definitely take teamwork. Morning Cycle Nutter, loved your latest video. Remco, killing it. Let's hope he holds his form throughout the season because he is looking phenomenal at the moment. Lovely video. Oh, Johan, yes, that's a very good question. Well, the first race was quite short. It was only a 16-kilometre race. And so, in terms of a polarised training programme, I kind of said, well, you're going to be going for some kind of big 20-minute effort, albeit a surgy effort. But that's only in terms of a day that was otherwise allocated for an outdoor crit. That's only 20 minutes of a 1 hour crit. And I reckon this 30-minute race, 30-kilometre race, will take about 40 minutes. And so all in all, in terms of intense training with lots of power surges, it's going to be about an hour. And that fits into the time that Ed allocated me this week for a hard racing session. And then tomorrow it's going to be zone 2 and a bit of upper body gym work, that kind of thing. Yeah, the emergency can of Coke is on the deck. Cheers, Scott. Although this time it's branched chain cyclic dextrine, which is a really fast digesting form of carbohydrate. So Johan, yeah, I think it's kind of, I wished out of an outdoor crit today basically because the weather is too, well, it's not going to rain, but it's very windy. And the last time I raced up there in the wind, a rider kind of veered across my line and forced me onto the grass. I stopped immediately and then somersaulted with the bike over the handlebars. And to be honest, while I love racing outdoors, I'm not that hardcore. Yeah, that's right, it's a total time in the high-end zones. Oh, for sure. That's right, Sean. Other soft drinks are available. Yeah, I'm hoping, I've had plenty of carbs after with my breakfast. Got some carbs in the bottle there, that's going to be sufficient. Right, I'm going to go to join the event in the pen shortly. And as I say, my legs felt awful when I began, but actually they feel fine now. Famous last words. And so, my intent initially, and this is fingers crossed, is to settle in the Premier A group, get my heart rate stabilised, and then do some 3-minute pulls, that kind of thing on the front. That's the idea. Whether or not I'm strong enough, I don't know. That sounds tough, Dean. But things are always harder in Scotland. It's no coincidence that the majority, or certainly more than 50%, I think, of SAS personnel come from Scotland. Strong mentality. Hey Tony. Yeah, keen. But really fitting in basically an hour's worth of hard training split across 2 sessions. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Thank you, Johan. And this is a course I regularly use for the zone 2 stuff because it's flat and you can just put down a nice sustained cadence and keep it in that kind of 170 to 210 watt range. And you always come away from those zone 1, zone 2 efforts feeling nice and refreshed. All right, here we go, Zwift. If I can find the mouse. Let's go. Okay, so we all got pink jerseys. That's very pretty. I do like pink. Chris Pritchard would approve. Yeah, it goes quite nicely with the light blue and my grey hair. Quite liking that. And if I look like I'm going to get dropped at the beginning, tell me to man up. Sometimes I need a bit of that. As I said earlier this morning, occasionally I do lose the mind over matter battle. Now the reason you have a good warm-up ahead of a race, as I understand it, is that the blood holds on to more oxygen for longer once the blood is warmed up. And it goes without saying, that's beyond beneficial for aerobic exercise. So over the last year and a half, I've got much better at allowing time to warm up ahead of hard efforts or a race. But the science is quite interesting. It really is about holding on to oxygen. And I'm going to look at Ash Beach's, I bought his book, his ebook on blood health. And I already take a sort of a vitamin that contains iron and have plenty of vegetables that contain the mitterins that support good blood health. But I'm really interested to see what Ash Beach has to say on the matter, because obviously he attributes his attention to blood health and diet to kind of create that, in part to his sort of huge power to weight ratio. And obviously he trains hard. Wow. So the Cat Ds have been going for quite some time now. The Bs are off by about 30 seconds. Heart rate is quite high given I'm just sat in a pen. That's no problem though. Hi Alan, thank you for joining. I appreciate you checking it out briefly, and do let me know what you think at the end. Much appreciated. Okay, time to roll the vlog. Race number 2. So we're 30 seconds away from the start of the Dirt Dad Day Chase race. I'm a dad, so I can take part. And as JD the boss would say in Street Outlaws of Memphis, a chase is a race. Be safe, you all. Here we go. For some reason my wattage isn't changing. There we go. Yep, it's fast. We need to work together, not break each other at the beginning. Settle, Philip. Wow. That was hard. Ooh. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew. No, I'll try and avoid that, Sean. Yeah, Paul, you got the Cat D's 9 minutes up the road. The Cat C's, I know, 6 minutes up. The B's, about a minute up. And then we're chasing on. Yeah. I'm gonna have to hang with the blob for a bit, because I need to settle, get myself under control. Heart rate stabilised. That kind of thing. Yeah, Johan, I'm going to draft, definitely. But because it's teamwork to bring them back, I do intend, when I feel ready, to play my role on the front. It's nice and fast, this. The blob effect. Whoever's pulling on the front. Oh, Babbage. He's done a good job there. Here we go. I'm going to do about 40-second effort here on the front. Unless someone takes over. Thank you, Bradislaw. Much appreciated. Really focusing on the pedaling technique here, putting through on the pedals. Oh, stop the vlog. Yep. This is as hard as I feared it would be. I haven't really taken a turn yet on the front, other than that initial pull the first guy back. I mean, the speed is high. We're over 45 kilometers an hour on average. We've got a nice draft power up. Stay in the bunch, Mark. It's going to be hard though. That's right, Darren. Oh dear me. Yeah. Conserve energy if I can. I think I'm scratching the idea of trying to do big pulls on the front. It was probably over ambitious. Certainly not till later. Oh, heart rate's high. Hey Mark, yep. Glutton for punishment. This must be the D's. Oh, suffering here. Yeah, they won't let me ride my pace at the front. So I can't really do a pull. I'm not going to go above 320 watts for a long pull. I'm really struggling here. Only 10 kilometers in. Little bit of recuperation. Those on the front have the energy and strength of mind to plot strategy to inflict suffering on others. I'm not in that place. Oh, not pleasant. I'm in all kinds of trouble. I think we're going to surge through these. Cheers, Paul. I'll try that. I'm hanging on for grim death here. But you can tell that. Cheers, Oslo. All kinds of trouble here. Thanks, Johan. I'm taking it by the kilometre at the moment. If that. Cheers, Dean. Yeah, trying, Johan. I think that'll be a decent 20-minute power there. So I've banked a training benefit. We'll do also. Won't do. Oh. Yeah, that's right, Patrick. This is unenjoyable. I think they put leaders on the front from dirt to drive the pace. He'll probably be a Cat A plus. I mean done. Nah. Oh. That was, sorry. Yeah, a bridge too far. Sorry about that, everybody. I just had nothing left, and mentally, I also gave up, I'm afraid. That's correct, Paul. As Arnold will say, never be afraid of failure. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try and target 4 watts a kilogram or more. Oh, I'm struggling even with that. I'll do that in a minute, I'll slow. Cheers, Terry. That's interesting, Mark. I just burnt myself out trying to stay with him, that was all. Yeah, surges are slow. Pesky surges. Hey Quentin, how's it going? How was Civvy Arcade today? No mercy, Quentin. Okay, Quentin. I can understand that. CV Arcade is brutal. Oh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for the encouragement, especially when I got dropped. I really wanted to pull the trigger when I got dropped. But with everybody watching and everybody's support, I was able to regroup and put down decent power in that final segment. Oh, overall I'm quite happy actually with the 4.3 watts a kilogram over the 37 minutes. You know, that's two really decent efforts at kind of one at threshold, one above threshold. And that will be quite taxing on the body. Which is why, yeah, it's time for eating then bed. Although we've got friends coming over this evening, so it won't be an early one. I do like an early night. I'm not a party goer. It won't surprise you to learn. But it'll take a bit of time to recover from that. So tomorrow I'll do like zone 1 and 2 for an hour or so just to spin out the legs. And by circulating blood around the muscle, that actually helps with the recovery process, provided you don't take the heart rate up too much. Hey Patrick, yeah, that's a really good question. In the outdoor crits, the recovery you get in the draft is stronger than on Zwift. So you get to kind of pamper yourself and rest up, but mentally you're having to really concentrate very, very hard to avoid hitting people and take the right line and all that kind of stuff. And so that does drain energy, actually, the mental side of it. Also, you can't ride through people. And so positioning is really important, and therefore in the final laps you've really got to be thinking about how you're going to move up safely without burning too many matches. But when you go on the front, it's even harder taking the full real world air resistance than it is on Zwift. And so if you get dropped, or you're kind of falling off the back because the race is stringing out a bit, you've got to work really hard for some quite extended periods to kind of get back on, or better still, just stay in. So what you find on a crit race, certainly versus a Zwift race, is, and you'll see this when I put my power overlays up on the vlogs, it is a very spiky profile. And so my average power might be only 230, 240 watts, as low as that, but my normalized power will be 285 to 290 watts, sometimes high as 295 watts, normalized. And it's that spiking that really drains the energy. And also, you get also people who are very strong. And so on the flat races, you get some bigger guys who can really put down serious power and just punch up the hill, carrying the momentum with them. And it is really, really hard to stay with them when they decide to kind of lay down serious wattage. So all in all, I'd say a Zwift race is, for me, a much higher sustained effort for the full 40 minutes to an hour, and as high as 2 hours sometimes. But a crit race is actually harder in terms of the mental side of it, the energy you expend positioning yourself, and also the surges are much more acute. Hopefully that answers the question. Well, Oslo, I'm sure your FTP is going to be coming up nicely. Now we're heading towards the spring. Warmed up for CVRK tonight, Quentin. Yeah. That was just a light spin ahead of CV Arcade. I'm going to be racing CV Arcade on Tuesday, though. I am looking forward to it. I had a bit of trouble with the tech last Tuesday, so I couldn't do it. I don't know if I've never been invited to join a cycling hub team, Quentin. I may join a different team just to spice things up a little bit. But first, I actually need how to race on CV Arcade. And for those of you who haven't used CV Arcade, now actually, Patrick, that's actually an interesting platform, because on CV Arcade you can't quite see them. Actually, I'll show you them. but I have these steering buttons, so you kind of go left, right, and you stop. And the thing about CV Arcade is you have to slow down for the corners. You can fall off on the corners if you go too fast. If you hit other riders, you fall off. So you're having to brake and position yourself. The draft is much more important. You get kind of side winds, tail winds, head winds, all that kind of thing. And it's actually a much harder race, CV Arcade, than even Zwift. And actually that feels more like a real world crit. So I recommend CV Arcade. It takes a bit of effort to get it up and running, but it's actually very good. Oh, sorry. My Zwift screen has gone away. 1 second. There we go. You can see me in all my miserable glory. Oh, the real life ride. Yes. Well, I thought we're doing that at some point over the summer. I'm still waiting for the invite to be firmed up in terms of the date, and also there's a practice ride that Tim is organising up in the Lake District, and that I am very much looking forward to. Is there a lot of cheating in the Pato in the C and D groups? Is this like people with a bigger FTP joining a group that's below them, do you mean? Oh my word, old slow. Paralysed 5 years ago. Crikey. Was it a car accident or a motorcycling accident? But I mean, yeah, amazing to be actually back up walking, let alone riding a bike with a 2 watts a kilogram FTP. That is an incredible comeback. Amazing story. Wow. It's amazing the things people go through. Firstly, full respect and thumbs up. That is off the chart incredible comeback story. Yes, it's awkward, isn't it? I am the master of creating an unnecessarily difficult situation or unnecessarily awkward situation. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, old slow, and I'm hoping that you've had a very full recovery, and you know, the chances of repeat are minimal, and you know, the fingers are crossed, and as I say, I salute you, sir. People put, yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you're pushing north of 4 watts a kilogram in Cat B, C or D, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, if you're pushing north of 4 watts a kilogram over a 40-minute race or more, that's probably cheating. If it's like a 20-minute race, though, I think that, you know, some riders will be able to put down that 4 watts a kilogram, you know, for a short period of time, but not the full hour. Okay, anyway. Well, look, firstly, thank you all again for tuning in for a second time, and also thank you very much for your story, and respect to you, sir. Really appreciate everybody's support. I'm sorry I got dropped around about kilometre 20, but you know, really enjoyed the ride. Now I'm going to eat plenty and rest up, and look forward to seeing you all soon on another live stream. And I've got plenty more videos dropping as well, and do remember to like them and this video if you like the video. Helps the channel. In the meantime, have a great weekend and a big thumbs up to everybody. Cheers.